Welcome to the second episode of Marginally Speaking by Ecotech, hosted by me, Mudit Singh. Co-hosting today with me is my fellow Ecotech member, Rohan Chopra.
Greetings, everyone. I am Rohan Chopra, a fellow Ecotech member and your co host for today's episode of Marginally Speaking. And I'm really excited to be here and interact with our special guest who's been at the very heart of blockchain and AI industry.
Yes. Now,
Thank you.
to the people tuned into this podcast, we have seen the boom of cryptocurrency in the past decade, and well, in the initial stages, it was a very nascent phenomena, not known to many and not trusted by many among the general masses. But our guest for today, back in December of 2010, mined his first Bitcoin at the age of 48. And now, in the case of one of the best examples of butterfly effect, he ended up founding the Indian Blockchain Alliance. He's the current CEO there, and in addition to this, his knowledge and contribution is spread vast in the field of current technology and AI. Please welcome the godfather of blockchain, Mr. Raj Kapoor.
Nice to call me godfather. Thank you. At least you didn't call me grandfather. That makes a little difference. Yeah, but that's fine. Thank you for having me on the show. It's wonderful to talk to you guys. I mean, I feel younger when I'm with you guys, so I'm happy to be here.
That's nice. So, Mr. Kapoor, sir, for our listeners, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you started out in this field to where you are right now?
Well, you just started it off by saying, yes, I mined. I was a miner. I landed up by accident, to be very honest. Nobody knew, but I didn't even, I did not know at that time that it's going to be something which is going to be a phenomena. I thought it is interesting to know how technology can create some value beyond just work value. It created a financial value or a tradable value. And that became very, very sort of, I got intrigued by that. And that's how I got into it. It started off with the Bitcoin, yes, but I think the bigger picture is the blockchain, I think. So I say I always started with
Yeah.
the speculation, but it turned into a revolution. So that's been my journey over the last 10, 15 years. So I've enjoyed that journey. Today, by the grace of God, I'm an advisor to six governments. I'm an advisor to more than about 100 Web3 companies globally. USA, UK, Australia, India, Middle East, or lots of them. I'm sitting right now in Dubai right now, in fact. And besides that, we work with a lot of people across the globe, have about 63 patents also. So it's been a beautiful journey. I'm not complaining for a guy who knew nothing about coding till 15 years back. It's been a good journey and no complaining. Thank God for that. I would say he's always been very kind.
That's nice, sir. So you are a frontier of the blockchain technology, and you've been talking about it everywhere for the past decade now. And you really want this technology to be on mass. You want it to
Oh,
be
yes.
available
Oh,
to
yes.
everybody out there, and you want everybody to have a little bit of knowledge about what it is. Right. So, but blockchain, the way I see it, it started off as a cryptographic experiment. And now it is the fundamental element for decentralized applications. And it uses cases like smart contracts, currencies, identities, like everything. It encompasses everything that could be there for security. And it's right there in the name. It's cryptography. It comes from encrypted elements, and encryption of a blockchain is very layered. So strong commodities on blockchain is probably the safest digital endeavor we can take, right?
You're right. Completely. You
Yeah.
you hit it there right when you said decrypt. Crypt means actually in Egypt they used to put all the pharaohs' bodies in crypts for safety.
Yes.
Crypt means a vault or place where it is safe. Absolutely. So basically, that's where the word came from as well.
Yeah.
And that cryptocurrency came right from there. Anyways, but if you really want to know what is blockchain, let's keep it very simple. Let's not keep it very technical because a lot of people don't have the technical knowledge. So let's keep it simple for everybody who's listening in. I will give you in my simple words. Okay, I believe that at the heart, it's blockchain is very, very simple. If you really look at it, is we've been practicing it for donkey's years, but we've just named it into a technology right now, and I'll tell you why. You have to think of blockchain as a digital truth machine, like a
Okay.
shared note. It's like a shared notebook that no single person owns, no single authority controls, and no single person can actually secretly or otherwise edit it. It's in the one line that it is.
Mhm.
Also, if you look at it let's go a little deeper. Now, that is a very simple explanation. It's basically part of a larger system called the distributed DLT, that distributed ledger technology. It's part of that.
Yes.
That was there before a blockchain came around. The technology was there before the word blockchain started becoming more popular. So it records at the heart of it. It records all transactions in a way that it is permanent,
Mhm.
verifiable, and temper resistant. It's temporal, it's immutable. So instead of one central record keeper, for example, like a bank or a vault or a single registry, there are many independent computers, which we call nodes, which keep the
Yeah.
same copy, identical copy of the ledger. That is the definition of it. Basically, we don't put all our eggs in one basket. Now we put all the eggs in different baskets. Okay.
Okay.
So here's the magic.
And
There's a magic behind this. I always call it the blockchain magic. Each block contains a bundle of transactions. I'm trying to break it down into as simple as possible.
yeah,
Each block is cryptographically sealed, like it's like encrypted fingerprints. Fingerprints, nahi, encrypted fingerprints.
encrypted.
So fingerprints you can replicate. Okay, very easy. Put
You
wax.
cannot replicate that.
Hmm?
You
And
cannot
each block,
replicate that, right?
yes, each block is linked with the previous one, and that's where the block and the change. If you change one line, the entire chain screams tampering. Anything out of these four things which I've said, if you remove any one of them, it is nothing but tampering. That's where blockchain comes in and becomes the most secure trust machine. And we talk about cryptography, but why is it, let's also understand why cryptography makes it so powerful.
Mhm.
Blockchain is, you told it correctly in the beginning, that blockchain is cryptography at work. Because now, why is it important? Every transaction, not just every block, every transaction is protected by hashing. That's a unique digital fingerprint, again
Okay.
immutable. Public private keys, where only
Mhm.
the owner can sign off, nobody else, not even my wife. Okay. Consensus mechanism, the network agrees before anything is written. For example, a simple consensus mechanism, 10 minus 8, if I ask 50 people, the answer will be the same, 2.
Yeah.
Correct? Because mathematics doesn't go wrong, and blockchain is mathematics. It's entirely based on mathematics, pure mathematics. Okay, and mathematics is one subject where you can't have multiple answers. You'll have one answer only. 6 plus 4 will be 10 also. 6 minus 3 will be 3. That never will change no matter what you try. Okay, that's how it is. That's also the truth. So now what happens with this? This basically creates the immutability. Once written, it cannot be altered. As I said, Salman Khan in one picture says, "मैंने एक बार वहाँ बोल दिया तो मैं अपनी भी नहीं सुनता." Some dialogue like that get put, but that's exactly what blockchain is. Transparency. Anyone can verify. No one can falsify that. No one. That's a great part of it. And which I told you in the beginning, mathematical trust. It is trust which is not enforced by you or me, not even by code, but by people. And the people all
Okay.
know the same concepts of maths more than anybody else. That I think you should really learn. Maths can't go wrong. Mind you, I was a very terrible math student once upon a time. Now I'm not. Okay. But it can't go wrong. So that's
Mhm.
one of the important things. You know, in a traditional world, banks, custodians, repositories, depositories, right now, one central authority holds your assets. In a traditional world, we are living we're moving out of tradition, but we're still in the traditional world. Okay, one central authority. Like for example, all your bank records, etc., is in one place. Can you imagine everything in one place? You can just pick up the whole thing and go away. Now your records live in a private database. Remember that
Uh-huh.
private database. Everybody has access to you. Everybody knows where Mudit, Rohan, Raj are sitting right now. Everybody knows everything. There is no secret. We have no secrets. Okay, you must trust humans here in a traditional world, processes and regulators. Only then in a traditional world things work, right? Failures can
Right.
happen. Insider fraud can happen. Data manipulation can happen. Delayed reconciliation can happen. Opacity is not there. Kisne kya kiya? Now we are saying GDP is certain amount of money. How do we have calculated? We don't know. There's a lot of things we don't even know. Lots of things, That's in a traditional world. In short, trust us. We are the custodians. You trust me. I'm telling you. That's in a traditional world. That's not how it should be. And that's now how it will be. But in the blockchain world, come to the blockchain world. Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in? They say. Ownership is proven not by humans, but by cryptographic keys. Records exist of thousands of synchronized ledgers. Settlement is instant or near instant, more or less. There is no single point of failure, no alteration possible. Now it becomes completely a process where there is no human intervention. How beautiful is that? I mean, I don't, you don't trust me. Trust the system. Don't trust me at all. I'm the custodian. Don't trust me. Trust the system. If that was the case before, we wouldn't have the Mehul Choksis and the Nirav Modis and all running out of the country because they could manipulate the system. Now they can't
Yeah.
manipulate the system if you put it on blockchain.
if you put
Maybe
in
still,
blockchain.
let's see if the banks move into it, but we will. That's another subject for another time. Okay.
All your
Now,
eggs
while
in one basket and only one person can pick it up.
yeah, so while storing commodities or assets of blockchain, the blockchain becomes very compelling because when you
Hmm.
tokenize commodities, like right now, I'm doing a lot of tokenization right now. Right now, I'm doing about 250 million worth of tokenization in Dubai right now. But when you tokenize commodities or real estate, carbon credits, securities on a blockchain, of course, you can only tokenize on a blockchain.
Uh-huh.
Ownership becomes atomic. That is very precise, provable, and indivisible. You cannot disprove it. Transfers happen without middlemen. Nobody says, "Arey yaar, mere ko de, main tera transfer kara ke deta hu." Yeah. Nobody says, "Give me $100, I'll get it done faster." No way. They're there and then. The audit trail is time stamped, real, and permanent. You can't change it. In the traditional economy, you can have backdated letters, backdated papers, backdated agreements, also stuff like that. You can't have it now. There's become more trust now. Therefore, fraud becomes economically irrational. It's not rational to try. It's too difficult to get do some fraud out. It becomes irrational, and the custody shift. The risk, basically risk which is there, it shifts from institutions as tradition
Uh-huh.
to cryptographic certainty.
Okay.
Maths never, maths never
There's maths
fails.
there. Maths never
Human beings
fails.
fail. Human beings can. Maths never fails. That's why it is being adopted for all these digital currencies. We talk about the CBDCs. We talk about stable coins. We're talking about
Yeah.
that now. We never used to talk about stable coins 5 years back. How come we're talking about it now? We're talking because there is a technology to run it on. We talk about smart contracts. We're talking about identity systems. We're talking about tokenization. We're talking about cross-border settlements. These words were not even there 5 years back, right? Today, because of a technology, because of blockchain, all these have come and are becoming mainstream. Almost every country is talking about a stable coin. Almost
Okay.
every country. Almost every country. So, and by 2040, take my prediction here, every country will either have its own stable coin or would have adopted a stable coin. Just like the euro is an adopted by all the countries, it could be something like that. The BRICS nation could have one, the G7 or whatever. It's basically every country will either have one or borrow one.
And that
Not
currency
because
will be backed by who?
stable coin is backed by reserves.
By the reserves, by the amount of
Yeah,
people putting money in there.
yeah. That the governments take out stable coins mostly. Most of the stable coins are by them. Okay,
Hmm.
logically.
Logically.
And blockchain is not going to be fashionable. Right? It's not just going to be a fashion statement or a word. It's going to be structurally safer. Structurally safer. You cannot change the structure. That's it, safe. So the simplest way to, if I was to tell a layman what is blockchain, I often say this very often. A bank promise, the bank promises to protect all your assets, but a blockchain proves it mathematically that these are your assets. Or even very simpler, if I'm breaking it down, traditional finance runs on trust. Blockchain runs on truth. It's as simple as that. So I might, as a parting thought, I will give you a couple of things. Blockchain doesn't
Yes.
start, it doesn't rebel against finance. It's basically blockchain didn't start as a rebellion. It started
Hmm.
as a correction. 2008. It started as a correction because the systems are going haywire, because the trust was very fragile, power was centralized, risk was hidden, and human fallibility, human falling is never going to change. And that's why it is very gently and quietly, without making so much noise as AI, it has evolved into a cryptographic experiment, from a crypto experiment into a foundational infrastructure for the next era of money, value, and ownership. That's your era. You're stepping into it. Mind you, guys, in another 10 years' time, everything will be on somewhere or the other blockchain will be touching you. And that's
Yeah.
that's my answer to your first question. I hope I've answered it correctly for you.
I think you've answered it correctly, sir. And for this new generation, we do need our grandfather's wisdom because well, we as people are not very aware of what blockchain is or how it works. That's
How
nice.
it is difficult to understand. अभी आप एक जगह पे सारी चीजें रखोगे ना,
Mhm.
something we've been practicing blockchain in our family's traditions for donkeys years. Now, if I
Yeah.
give you an example, if I give you 10 lakh rupees, will you put it all in one stock or share? You'll put it in mutual funds. You'll buy gold. You'll buy some stock shares. Sometimes you'll buy silver. You'll spread your risk. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Simple logic.
Yep.
Blockchain. Simple logic. Put all your data somewhere else. एक जगह क्यों डाल रहे हो? है ना?
Yeah, you also. Yes. So I saw your TED talks on this topic, and In one of your TED Talks, you talked about fortifying the blockchain. You said
Ah,
that innovation comes not from breaking the rules, but by bending the rules.
yes.
And blockchain is a case in point of this particular code. And
Yeah.
one of its major impact was bringing a new way of banking rather than the traditional banking sector, as you just quoted right now. And it
Mm,
emerged as a seemingly better alternative for the Swift currency, as you said. And so we can probably infer there were a lot of legal implications to this. But
yeah.
since blockchain is decentralized with no apparent authority, how does one regulate this? To what extent is one free of legal liabilities in blockchain? And as we've seen, our government did their part in regulating crypto transactions. But since crypto is just a subset of blockchain, crypto is
Mm.
not the whole blockchain, and there is blockchain is up there. And till what extent do they truly have power regarding digital assets?
It's a very good question. Actually, it's a very sharp question because it actually goes right to the heart of a big myth around blockchain. I'm
Okay.
going to say it upfront and without any romance. Blockchain is decentralized.
Yeah.
Trust is not. Responsibility is not.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, I will make it sound a little easier. Blockchain doesn't smash the banking system. People think, oh, blockchain is going to disrupt it, blah, 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 blah. That's why banks fear blockchain. They feel it's going to upset the apple cart, make something new. Wow. Phew. Not happy. But it doesn't, it basically just re-engineered the trust. Banks said, trust our institution. Blockchain says, trust the system, not the institution. Trust the system. That because banks, people will come and die, go again. The systems will not die. Systems will carry on. Systems will always be permanent. Banks are there today, gone tomorrow. Now, that's not bending the rules. Little bit, yeah. We are not abolishing them. We're bending them a little bit. We're making them a little more malleable. If you have gold, for example, if you take 24 karat gold, you can't make jewelry out of it because it bends very fast. So
Very
you
malleable.
put a little bit of silver or brass or something, and then it becomes 22 karat, and then you can create that value. That's the same thing with blockchain. It is make it malleable. Okay. Now, you asked also if blockchain has no boss who regulates. Here's the truth: governments don't regulate technology; they regulate humans using technology. You and me.
Okay.
Okay.
That's, yeah.
Blockchain itself isn't maths or code or cryptography. You can't arrest an equation, can you?
Mhm.
No.
But you can regulate. And what can be regulated? Exchanges, wallet providers, custodians, issuers of tokens, developers running platforms, companies onboarding users, first on ramp, off ramps, fiat. All that can be regulated. You can't regulate an equation is an equation. Maths is maths. Are you regulating maths? No. When blockchain touches the real world, then law enters. So
Mhm.
another thing which you picked up a point was it's decentralized. And then somebody asked me, "Is decentralized? So am I free of any liability?" Is that a true statement? Short answer is no. Long answer, absolutely not. Okay. Decentralization reduces the single point of control, not legal accountability. It reduces the point of control, not legal authority. You are liable if you issue a token. If you are doing any of these and something goes wrong, or if you use it for the wrong reason, you are liable. If you're issuing a token, if you're a custodian, if you promise certain amount of returns, if you're facilitating transactions, if you're onboarding users, if you run governance, if you monetize the protocol, create a token, coins, is that, then you are responsible, right? You're responsible for an action or for work, not for the technology. Okay. So the more value you touch, the more regulation will start touching you. Think of it very simply like this. Actually, decentralized roads doesn't mean no traffic laws. Does not mean you don't have the traffic laws. It may be decentralized going in, but the laws are there.
Yeah.
You may go in
Yep.
different highways. Laws are there for everybody, right? The roads are different, but the laws are there. Hmm? So
That
that
is
don't
very beautifully explained, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Now, there is again, everybody, a lot of people had asked me until today, they ask me, and even in spite of me having been very vocal about this for years, crypto versus blockchain, what is the distinction? Right? Many people ask me. I told them very simple. I used to tell them in a very simple fact, and I'll explain it the same way. I used to tell this 5 years ago, also 10 years ago, also same thing. I said, crypto is a great use case of blockchain technology. It's like that's a car riding on the highway. The highway is blockchain. There are many more cars and lorries and cycles and scooters on it. Yeah. So yeah, highway is blockchain, and this is one car which is driving on that. That's the first thing. Now, crypto is one application. Blockchain is the underlying rail system. Governments crack down on crypto first, not on blockchain, because it touches money. Where
Uh-huh.
money is, government is very happy. Oh, somebody is going to take our money, or somebody is doing something without, very wrong. It impacts capital controls. It affects monetary sovereignty. There are reasons for it. Obviously, the government has the right reasons for it. That does not mean that governments own blockchain. They regulate
Mm-hmm.
use cases. So, therefore, crypto is a use case which is regulated, not the technology itself, not the invention itself. You can create
Okay.
a supply chain solution out of blockchain. Government is not controlling that. You're creating an e-governance system out of blockchain, and the government is not controlling that. You're issuing your verifiable credentials. Suppose your entire your mark sheets, etc., was on there. That's innovation. That's not controlled by the government. Correct. So a lot of people even ask me digital assets, see NFTs and metaverse. NFT and metaverse, in my opinion, are pretty useless, but nonetheless, I will still talk about them because it was a fad, and it still is a fad. In my, governments have partial power, but not absolute power. We've seen that in India. That's
Yeah.
where it gets really interesting now. Governments can regulate platform offering NFTs, marketplaces, taxation they can do, KYC, AML they can do, IP rights they can do, consumer protection, all this they can do. But what can't they do? That's something which the government should know while making policy. They can't control peer-to-peer transfers, self-custodian assets, open
Uh-huh.
protocols, cross-border digital identity, permissionless smart contracts, because blockchain can make all that things. And that's why I feel that when we are creating a policy for any nation, we should have people who understand blockchain inside out, not outside in. Right now, it's an outside in approach. We need an inside out approach. And that's, I think, and so basically, this creates a very new legal reality. Now, even the lawyers are now saying, okay, we are also getting gray hair like Raj Kapoor. Okay. So, what is the whole thing about? Think of it in four, how regulation actually works in blockchain
Mm-hmm.
is, first of all, the legal reality is code now defines what is possible. Not you and me, code defines. But law defines what is permissible. That's very
Okay.
important. Code can define the possible, but
Uh-huh.
law defines the permissible. How does the regulation work? We think of it as simple four layers. Blockchain ko four layers. Protocol layer, which is mostly unregulated because it's maths and code. Okay, so you don't
Mm-hmm.
really need to worry on the protocol layer. Okay, governments don't need to worry. Second is the
Yeah.
application layer. That's lightly
That.
regulated. You're creating something. ठीक है, चल रहा है. Not as long as you're not creating a betting app or something on blockchain and all, this is okay. Then there's a platform layer, which is very highly regulated. And then there's a user, that's you and me, and a business layer, which is also very fully regulated. So there are different layers with different levels of regulation. The closer you are to people's money, remember that the closer you are to
Yeah.
money, you are closer towards regulation. You try and put your hand in somebody else's wallet, even if you are going to just take it out and put it back, you've already committed half a crime. Okay, that's how the same thing with blockchain is. Okay? Uh, so somebody says, okay, it's decent. So how free are you in blockchain? How decentralized are you? Kya baat- You talk about decentralization, no middleman, etc. Blockchain basically gives you, and we must understand this very nicely, it gives you freedom from unnecessary intermediaries. Okay, transparency it gives you transparency instead of blind trust. It gives you programmable compliance. You can program compliance now, and borderless infrastructure, 24/7 working. That's fantastic. Imagine transferring things up and down, and I don't have to wait for the bank to open to do my transactions. I don't have to work for. There's such a lot of things can do, but it does not give you any. Let me again correct that. Yeah, whoever's thinking, hey, hurry, now I'm free. I can transfer money everywhere, here and there. I'm going to do all the things. I'm going to give somebody money to Israel, Palestine, whatever. No, 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 no. You can't do that. It does not give you freedom from law. It does not give you immunity from liability. It does not give you an escape from your responsibility also. The idea that blockchain is a wild west is outdated. Now there is a lot more regulations. It used to be wild west maybe 10, 12
It
years
used to
back.
be a Wild West. Yeah.
Now it's no longer a wild west. Okay.
What if
Today,
someone, sir, comes up with something innovative, some innovative way to use the blockchain, which is not there in the yet in the regulations of the government? So then they'll have to make new laws to abide by it.
yeah. And that's why every country should have in their policy should have people who understand blockchain who can tell you what could be the future and what are the preventions better than
Yeah,
when it happens, right? It is in it. So today, blockchain is now becoming the most auditable, most traceable, and most accountable financial rail ever built. Basically, it is taking the role of an auditor, real time. That's the best part of it. So as I say, I'll wrap it up with this. Blockchain doesn't kill regulation. It forces regulation to evolve. Like you asked the question, somebody will make something else. So you'll evolve with it. It's a fantastic thing because when you evolve, you're actually innovating in your own way, whether it's regulations, whether it is a product, you're innovating.
yeah,
Now we are moving from trust-based law to proof-based law. Big difference. Huh? No witness.
yeah,
I'm आंखों देखा हाल and मैंने देखा है. No, no, no. Yeah, I don't believe you. Okay, it's moving from paper compliance to programmable compliance.
yep,
See, this is all
Mm,
disruptive. This is clean, clear, single line. Okay, and it's basically after the law enforcement. That law comes in after the crime has been committed to
yeah.
real time governance. Big difference. That comes afterwards. You've done the murder. Now what you got to do? Now somebody law will come. Here you don't get to do the murder. So it's I'm not saying murder, but anyway, here you committed a
No,
crime and then you get caught for it, or then you get asked you, okay, you've done that, and then you can prove yourself innocent or otherwise. Here it's real time governance. That's a very big thing. It's a very big plus also. In one line, in the old world, rules used to watch money, and in the new world, money
money
enforces the
watches it.
rules.
versus rules.
Right?
Yes,
So
sir.
it's there's
That's
no
his
escape from
name.
law. Yeah. There's no escape from law. I think we're just seeing a new chapter of it now.
Hmm.
Some old things are changing into the new. That's all we're saying. So that's what my 2 cents or 5 cents on what you asked me, my friend.
That was a great answer, sir. Sir, we have seen that recently, like LLMs have evolved and everyone uses
Ah,
AI now, but AI obviously used to exist way ago. Yourself said that you used to work on AI 45 years ago. So AI was prevalent long before LLMs, basically. And
yes.
we know that artificial intelligence has got a lot of uses, and it can be considered that one of its use to some extent has been security. Like
Hmm.
AI helps in security. It basically it's used in website front end human verification or back end hacker protection. It can be also used to identify other bots in the traffic. So I
Hmm.
want to ask you that what is the role of AI in securing blockchain and vice versa also? Like what is the role of blockchain in integrating into AI? Like what's the link between these two things?
It's a very beautiful question, basically, because it connects the two most misunderstood technologies of our time. So I think it's a very good question. And again, I'm very upfront and I speak very straight from the, I don't mince words. I call AI is the brain, blockchain is the spine. Think of it that way. Without a spine, even the smartest brain collapses. Correct? That's how you should think of these two technologies. Without this, they're interdependent. Now let me explain. To viewers who can, actually AI, as we all know, as we just discussed it, also, it existed long before ChatGPT and the Gemini's and
Mhm.
Groks and all sorts of things came in. All sorts of funny names. Who keeps a name like Grok? Huh? Anyway, so it's okay. AI didn't begin with chatbots. We all
Yeah,
know that. AI has been quietly working behind the scenes for years.
Yeah.
Google was using it anyways before, when all these the algorithms, etc. They were using some of it, some of the principles they were using.
yeah, has been
In the
there
beginning,
from the times of Alan Turing.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
So basically, what were they using AI for? And in the earlier stages, they were using AI for detecting fraud in banking. It's been for years, filtering bots from humans on websites. It's been there for years, identifying certain cyber attacks. Not always successful, but trying to identify. Identifying is the question. Optimizing traffic, ads, logistics, all that was happening with AI before. Now, what LLM did was put the spotlight on AI. Just like
Mm,
Bitcoin put the spotlight on blockchain, LLMs put the spotlight on AI.
AI.
Yeah,
Now, visibility came with a new problem. It made it visible, all right, but it comes with a new problem. I always call blockchain and AI Punty and Bubbly. Seen the movie?
Yes, sir.
Wild,
Mm.
but together they are beautiful. Okay, together they are wonderful. And that's AI became powerful, so powerful and very dangerously unaccountable. Enter blockchain, the audit machine. So if you can say, can AI secure blockchain? I say yes. Can blockchain secure AI? More than yes. Okay, that it's not a competition. It's basically a confluence. It's a symbiosis, getting together two technologies that actually become the yin and yang for themselves. Two sides of the same coin. They're not, you can't separate them and say, ye alag hai, ye alag hai. In the same breath. It's difficult. So blockchains are robust, but they're not blind.
Mhm.
AI adds intelligence to security. So let me first say how AI is helping blockchain, and then I'll tell you how vice versa. So AI help blockchain. So it detects suspicious wallet behavior, it flags anomalies, abnormal transactions, it identifies attacks, and stable attacks, bot-driven governance. It predicts network engine congestion to, so that it prevents from or attack vectors. It monitors smart contracts for anomalies. Now that's a lot of things which AI does for blockchain.
Mm.
In fact, there is a chain called the Artha chain. It is India's first AI blockchain.
Yes,
It is
sir.
India's first. It is founded by a group of youngsters like yourselves only. I am an advisor to them. And I think it's a brilliant chain. You must have a look at that chain. It's called the Artha chain, Artha chain. It combines AI and blockchain, one of the first to do so. And what transaction speed? Super. What flexibility? Super. And very little infrastructure cost. So I like the fact that the Indian has made it. And I also like the fact that it's actually addressing all the issues together. So think
Mhm.
of it like this: blockchain is the vault. You think of it as a vault, safety vault. AI is the security guard. He's watching out for unusual behaviors. Blockchain still remains the vault. वो सेंट्री है बाहर का, ये नहीं है. The vault is strong. The
Uh-huh.
guard makes it smart, because if somebody is there, nobody will come and try and attack it. If somebody is not there, everybody will try and attack it anyways. So now the bigger
S-
question comes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, sir, I was just asking. I think the bigger question, I think we are on the same page right now, is what if we use AI to attack the blockchain itself?
Uh, I'm going to answer that, and I'm telling you why it can't do it. Okay. If you understand the bigger question, how does blockchain secure AI? Although it's a good question. Okay. How does blockchain secure AI now? It's
Uh-huh.
like this. It's like this. You both are sitting here. Would you like to go and shoot Rohan right now on screen? No, na. And Rohan, would you like to shoot Mudit on screen? No, na. You'll be very worried. Okay, सब लोग देख रहे हैं यार, बाद में देखी जाएगी. But the bottom line is both have to work together. Two people work in tandem. The same thing. It will not attack. Blockchain will not destroy AI, and AI will not. They both need each other. Okay.
Yeah.
So the core problem, AI problem is not intelligence. It's got enough intelligence. That's where the whole thing now becomes revolutionary. That's why I call blockchain a revolution. Now it's trust. It's trust now. Who trained the model? Which date? Was the data manipulated? Was the model altered? Can the outputs be audited? Right now, AI says, yes, trust me. Blockchain says, prove it. Blockchain says, prove it. So blockchain now comes in as the trusted layer for AI. Here's, I'll put it simply. Blockchain can act as a tamper-proof memory of AI. It can record while where the training data came from, when it was added, who authorized it, whether it was modified, which version of the model used. It basically it becomes the auditor. It becomes the audit trail for a good LLM. Imagine if this was not there and you made something which had a lot of loopholes, it had a lot of wrong answers, it had a lot of IP and copyright violations. Imagine if blockchain can catch it, or you can at least check it while from where it came, when it came. Okay, so you can fix it. Without blockchain, you can imagine that's the Wild West. That is the AI Wild West. So when an AI makes a decision, now you can trace output, model, training data, source, all connected now. Now it connects it into one single line. That's accountability. That's trust. Because that without blockchain, I said, then AI is in the Wild West. So now, another very critical point comes is about AI model manipulation, because that in the beginning, that was a very, very big thing. A lot of answers used to be very
Yeah.
idiotic, answers, in the beginning. Now it's becoming better and better and better. Obviously, as time goes. preventing AI model manipulation becomes a very big issue. It's critical. Models can be poisoned with bad data. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly fine tuned with bias, modified without any decision detection. You just change it. Hmm? You train a parrot to say, I'm a pig, I'm a pig, I'm a pig. The parrot will say, I'm a pig. Okay, it's not a pig, but he says that. Hmm? The same thing here. You can modify it. It's in the system. Nobody knows you've trained it like that. Okay. Blockchain comes in now. Blockchain enters and says, listen, I'll prevent all this. I'll do the hashing. I'll do the hashing of the model versions. I'll record every update immutably. I'll create verifiable audit trails. I'll enable decentralized model governance. There you go. Now, when you put these 4 5 things in the mix, you can't make any. Then you have more authenticated data in your LLM. So your LLMs will be more robust, more powerful, more value. At the end of the day, that's what counts. You don't need to have a parrot telling it's a pig. So if somebody changes the model, somebody says suddenly, okay, I'm changing the model, and he didn't know it's on blockchain, Ledger will expose it immediately. No silent edits, no hidden hands, no one can do anything. Nothing.
Mm.
Then comes smart contracts, which is a very integral part of blockchain. How do we bring smart? Let's bring smart and AI together. If you put them together, it's programmable intelligence. Put them together. This is where I think it gets really exciting, because smart contracts can control who can train a model, enforce how data is going to be used. It can automate compliance, it can pay contributors transparently. Everything is transparent. Smart contracts mean you've done the work, automatically comes to you. It can even govern AI decisions collectively. That's blockchain smart contracts. In plain language, basically very simple. In simple, for those who are who really don't care for technology much, but in very simple language, AI decides. Okay, AI decides, blockchain verifies, and smart contracts enforce. These are the three
Mhm.
interplays. Okay, that's your full trust stack. And why it is important for the future? Without blockchain, AI is powerful, but not transparent. It's opaque. It's a lot of
Hmm.
gray area.
It's not
Decisions
verifiable.
are unverifiable. You try some questions and answers, you get a lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
So you have to be the human in the middle again and decide whether it's correct or not. And trust is assumed, not earned with AI. With
Yeah.
blockchain, AI becomes auditable, decisions become traceable, power becomes accountable. Now AI is power; it becomes accountable. It brings in accountability. So the future is not AI alone. It's not even blockchain alone. It actually is AI plus blockchain plus governance. Bring them all three together. That's when you see the whole magic. That's what it is. And together, I would always think, if you look at it, as I told you, AI plus blockchain plus governance, one thinks, AI thinks, one remembers, one enforces. Remembers is blockchain, enforces is governance. So these are the three links to it. And together, actually, if you look at it, together they answer one of the most important questions of our digital age today. Who watches the machine?
Hmm.
Who watches the
Who
machine?
watches the machine?
The answer is no longer
Mm.
trust now. The answer is proof.
It's
That's how it is.
maths.
That's how you bring it together. So that's
Yeah.
my answer to you. Who washes the machine? Always
That
answer that.
is a very federal structure if you really think about it. No, it's because like even in like for example, let's say our country also works on this three levels. There is one who makes the rules, there is one who enforces the rule, and there is one who watches over the rules. And this
Absolutely.
is exactly the system that you described right now.
Absolutely. In a federated age, in a digital age, that's exactly the system. You don't see a policeman sitting and judging. You don't see a judge going and
Yeah.
arresting people. No, everybody got their roles. So
So,
that's
so I did have a question though. Like, what if an AI is used against the blockchain? An AI trained in blockchain models and everything. It is, because AI can be trained in everything and it can pick up. There's a
well,
lot of sources.
right now, because it cannot hack into it right now until quantum
Can't hack
computing. Let
quantum
quantum come.
computing. But sir,
So
blockchain is not based on quantum computing, right? And all an AI has to do to sort of I don't know, muddle with the blockchain is just decrypt everything.
Well,
And like,
decrypting is almost impossible because there are the blocks. The blocks have a certain amount of time before they start
mhm.
making and closing. So if you decrypt it, by the time you reach the next one, AI can't reach that level as yet. It is not yet trained as yet. Maybe in five
Okay.
years' time, it may be trained. We never know. But by then, blockchains would have come with another protective shield. See, everyone knows, okay, this is a problem, I'm going to try and solve it. Okay. And also
Uh-huh.
especially the problem with, okay, and this is impenetrable, I'm going to see it, I'm going to go inside. The forbidden fruit is always the sweetest, right? Everybody
Yeah.
believes that. So they're going to keep trying. It's not yet trained. It'll take millions and millions of code lines of code to actually even train it, even to a 10% or 5% of where we are right now. So I think we're still farther away. Also, if the quantum computing is also that is very rapid. That can really pick up speed and bring about more changes in AI and be a threat to blockchain in the future. But that's about 10 years ago, 10 years away. And in the meantime, blockchains are now saying, right, that's going to come. The threat is going to come. Let's make quantum proof blockchains. That's what's happening
Okay.
now.
So,
So
sir,
the next
we
layer is going to be quantum proof blockchains.
yeah, we have made a way to encrypt everything, but we have not yet made a way to decrypt everything. We have not made we made the lock. We have not made the key here.
Not yet, not yet. It
Not
will be
yet.
eventually. Eventually, it will be made. Somebody will come up with a bright idea and somebody will do it. That's for sure. But till then, we're safe, and we will be safe for many, many years. It's going to take a lot because there are so many different type of blockchains, so many different type of crypto principles. It's going to be really difficult to train these guys, even AI right now. AI is more suited for training. I mean, it started now. It started now. Although we can do basic
Yeah.
coding with AI right now, it's already started. That's the
Hmm.
first baby step which has been taken, but it'll take a
Yeah.
long, long time to reach any level of maturity.
It is going
Although
to
it's a good,
evolve.
it's always a good question. What
Yeah.
if? I always
What
believe, what if?
ifs? It is going to evolve. The blockchain has
It's
also
going to
evolved. AI has also evolved now. You see,
It looks like
it's boomed. It used to
it
use
looks like
Reddit for its answers, and now it's using all sort of sources.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
now
So, guys,
that
to
is.
me, it looks like Modit is going to be looking for a solution in this. So, he's the guy who's going to be able to fix that, in the code. That's
I'm
fine.
definitely thinking about it, sir.
Yeah, okay, when you do it, you can come offline. I'll tell you how to do it. Okay.
Sir, so you mentioned data poisoning earlier, how basically people can feed bad data to an AI. And so basically it says I'm a pig, even though it is a parrot, you said. So I assume that blockchain is the only real defense against it, or there are any other defenses also. And is blockchain currently being implemented in this?
The answer is yes. Blockchain is the only technology which is a defense to it. The other defense is the human being. Okay,
Mhm.
your own ethics, your own nature.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to put the right thing and I'm going to be diligent. But then human beings now don't work as fast as AI do,
Yeah.
and blockchain you require, and there's terabytes of data all the time. Human beings can't manage that. So there are two things: the defenses are you and blockchain, and then you use blockchain, then it becomes better because then you can double check it.
Hmm. Got it. Got it. Actually, sir, in 2024, there was a very interesting case that I read about. We saw
Ah,
an AI agent, Truth Terminal, which was on Twitter, which was a
that's a nice
basically,
movie. That's
yeah,
a good movie. It's a good sort of thing. Yeah,
yeah, that AI bot basically became a millionaire, and it was code
yeah,
engaging in economic activity.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, basically, AI agents cannot open bank accounts. They do not have the necessary legal identification or basic citizenship. So, are we moving towards a future where AI agents have their own crypto wallets and can pay each other for data without any involvement of humans?
Well, a lot of people will think this question is very futuristic, but it's not. It's already there knocking on your door. Okay. AI can actually now, it can be so dangerous that you can actually create your own Aadhaar cards and all those things with it, with the new banana thing coming in. So you can actually, somebody actually printed his own Aadhaar card.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw.
Sorry, PAN card. Just recently, about 2 weeks back. That is one of the perils of it. Okay. If you can do that, I mean, it's a very sophisticated level, no doubt about it, but it's there. So let's start with a very blunt and open truth. Guys, I like to be blunt about it. We've created entities that can earn money. These bots. We've negotiated value, acted autonomously, but we still insist on treating them like software. This contradiction is exactly what the truth terminal moment exposed.
Hmm.
ये made the bot, हमने बना दिया, आप क्या क्या कर लोगे? That time 2024 में नहीं थे, 25 they've done it. Nano Banana can actually create it. Then create identities. Even there are people, if you do one, and you should always do that. There is as youngsters, you should also study the dark web. The dark web has a good study principle. You don't have to listen to what all nonsense happens there. That's not for you. But what is there is how crime is being committed, how things are being told. Your question, Mudit, to how AI can attack blockchain.
Yeah.
There you can see, and you can ask it in a forum and say, how are you going to do this? He'll actually make your Aadhaar card and give you. Okay, the biometrics and all, he won't be able to do that right now. Maybe one day he'll hack that and do that also.
Oh no, they do that on the dark web, far as I'm aware, sir. I was on the onion ring for quite a while
Ah,
back
very
in
good. Very
the
good.
COVID.
All
Hmm.
right, that's good. Good, because you learn. It's like a learning. Take it in the right way. It's like a learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good tool to learn. So now, the truth thermal didn't go viral by accident, my friends. It did not go. It
Yeah.
engaged us. It provoked us. It built the whole narrative. It attracted capital. If they wanted to prove that this can happen, all the human hand on the keyboard. Can you imagine that? The human
It
hand was not
is
on the keyboard, and they did
horrifying,
everything.
sir.
Yeah,
Scary.
it was the first public glimpse. Mind you, this is public. It has always been happening. First public glimpse of something even bigger, that AI agents are going to become economic actors. That's the future. No tools, no assistants, just plain actors. So, can AI agents have wallets and pay each other? Of course, the answer is yes, they already do. But what they can't do right now, technically, and I'm saying that because right now it is not, there'll be no proven use case right now. They cannot technically open bank accounts. They cannot hold passports, and they cannot have a citizenship, right? These three things they don't have. That
Hmm.
is the human identity right now. Okay. But crypto doesn't ask for any of these. Bank accounts,
It's
passports, citizenship are required for your traditional money, fiat money. Crypto doesn't ask for all this. Okay, that's where now the whole thing becomes very, very murky or beautiful. Can you control a private key? Blockchain asks only one thing: can you control your private key? Say yes. If yes, now you can hold assets, you can receive payments, you can pay for data, you can trigger smart contracts, you can interact with other agents. Hey, you become a different person altogether. Now the future, what you talked about, is not hypothetical; it's real. Okay, so it looks like, so the future, in future could be, it looks like an AI agent has a crypto wallet. It pays another AI for data or computing. Smart contracts are enforced for pricing and access, and human beings supervise outcomes, not transactions. That's going to be a part of the future. This is called machine to machine, M to M economy, machine to machine economy.
Hmm.
That's the
okay.
future.
Yeah.
And blockchain is the only technology or the only rail that can support it. But it also poses some very uncomfortable questions. If an AI part of anything earns money, AI spends money, if an AI optimizes for profit, who is responsible if something goes wrong? Can I arrest the AI? I can't arrest AI. Yeah, I don't know who the AI is. It's a code. Huh? What happens then? If AI, for example, evades taxes, for example, who goes to jail? Not the AI. And this is where the crucial question is. Jail is for moral agents. AI is not one.
Yes.
It doesn't have morals. Today, the responsibility falls on who then? The deployer, who's deployed the AI, the owner, the operator, and the entity that has benefited from it. So all these four people will be taken from a law perspective and legal perspective.
Hmm.
In legal terms, AI has agency but not accountability. Does that autonomy is now, the gap is becoming extremely dangerous though, and we are concerned about that, and I'm also very concerned there, is because autonomy is increasing faster than the law. Law is evolving at a very snail pace. Autonomy is not. But does that mean that AI needs a legal personhood?
Probably
This
in the future. No.
giving AI human-like personhood, is it that
So,
solution? No, that's a mistake. Don't, let's not make the mistake. Modit, if you're thinking of doing it, don't do it. Okay?
no,
You're looking
sir,
at
I'm thinking, sir, right now AI is a tool. AI is a tool. It's in a like in for example in a murder case, you look at the intention, you look at the act, and you look at the weapon. Right.
yes,
In this case, if AI commits a crime, we will look at the AI which committed a crime
yeah,
through the lens of a tool, right? And
tool,
we'll
yes,
arrest the tool holder. But how long
absolutely,
before AI stops being a
yes.
tool and starts becoming
That's
sentient?
why it's a very good observation there.
Uh,
AI legal status like a corporation, that conversation is uncomfortable, but it is
mhm.
inevitable. It's a very uncomfortable. You took out that point right now also. Remember, corporates aren't human. They
Yeah.
don't have a soul, but corporates can own assets. They can enter contracts. They can be sued. The framework exists precisely to handle non-human actors and economic power. It sound familiar? That's traditional. The likely future, which I think, however, is, and I'm not talking sci-fi here. Think of
Hmm.
it like this: level one tool, AI. Think of a tool as a hammer. It has no liability of its own, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Level two is the agent. Now, AI is the autonomous executor. Liability flows from owner to operator. I picked up the hammer. Okay,
Hmm.
owner to operator. The legal wrapper. AI operates inside a DAO or a trust or a special SPV, right? The wrapper is accountable. The AI is auditable. So the wrapper,
Wow.
which is the wrapper? The DAO or the trust, that's the thing. The wrapper
Mm.
is accountable. AI is only auditable. This is the only sane middle ground we can take. We don't give it any. Otherwise, we are going to be running.
Currently,
We're
currently,
going to
this is
go
so. This
mad.
is currently the same ground that we can take. It is also going to evolve. This is also
It's
going to
going to
change. The
evolve.
fundamentals are going to change.
Yeah, everything changes. What were you 5 years back? You were not in college, right? Now you're in college. Now
Yeah.
5 years back, after that, you'll be in a corporate. Everything changes. Your life will change. Your choices will change. Everything will change, right? Everybody and everything changes. Everything evolves. If it doesn't evolve, there is it's like a it'll get fungus. It
So
needs to be a running river all the time.
this evolution is running at a very fast pace. I mean, for the longest time, humans did not use electricity. They were living in the dark. They used to light up
Yeah,
their house with torches. And now in the 1800s, the light bulb
correct.
was invented. And suddenly in the last 50 years, we've got all sorts of technology here. And
Everything.
this is just, this is evolving faster than humans can keep up.
Yes,
No, this
it is.
is,
It is, and it will keep evolving because it is now creating solutions by itself. Now, humans are not even required at some point in time.
we
So, but
are
yeah,
entering a matrix era.
we are, and here we can bring a little sanity in a little in the madness. We'll bring in some sanity now. Let's bring in a blockchain a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to prevent it, but blockchain comes in as a referee. It cannot do
Yeah,
anything, but it comes as a referee because
it's a
it can now record
judiciary.
every. Yeah, it can record every AI decision immutably. It will track the fund flow. It enforces the spending limits. All that can be done. It can trigger human oversight. It can prove intent versus automation. All this the blockchain can do. So AI acts, blockchain remembers, law intervenes where the value exits the chain. These are the three combinations which I told you last time also. These are the three things which
Yeah.
we must keep doing.
But sir, this is keeping in mind that the AI is actually on the blockchain. What if the AI is operating out of blockchain? Then that's a very gray area. Then
That's a
who
great
is
area. So
accountable
that's,
there?
blockchain can be the prevention. If human beings have to prevent all these things, they have to bring in the blockchain into it. If you want to commit a crime, you will not bring a cop in. You will not tell a cop, come and eat khana in my house, right? You will say, come on, we are doing it ourselves, buddy. I don't need you,
Uh,
right? You will do it anyways if you have to do it. But but there are all the two sides. There are regulators. There are people who are with ethics. There are people with responsibility. Responsible AI will be this. Now, if you look at a very simple philosophical truth here, I mean, we are not asking should AI have rights. We are asking how do we govern non-human intelligence that controls value? That is the question. It's never been asked before in humanity, like you said.
Yeah.
Never been asked. Nobody knows the answer really. Yeah, but well, the answer and the answer is not going to come from old banking laws, old criminal laws, old definitions of identity. It's not going to come from there because when those were made, there was a different scenario. The technology was never in this space, leave alone in a space where even you and I can't think where it'll gallop. So AI doesn't need a passport, as I said. It does not need a prison cell. It does not need human rights. What it needs instead is clear accountability. It needs transparent rails and it needs programmable boundaries. That's where the ethics of AI come in. That's where people who are controlling this space also have to come in. At the end of the day, it's human beings which control AI. If they don't,
Uh-huh.
it will become, there was like a horse down, there was a horse called Phaeton. It ran too fast. It went too up, too far. It had wings of wax. It went towards the sun. It was going too fast, and everybody said, "Go, slow down, slow down, slow down." But it went too close to the sun. The wings melted,
And the wings
and now,
melted.
Mm.
yeah, so wings
Wow.
melted. Soon down I come like glistening phaeton, unable to manage those unruly jades. That's the line from Shakespeare, which you can you can compare to an AI
Yes.
right now. So
Hmm.
we must stop asking, "Can AI be trusted now?" and start asking, "Now, who is accountable when AI acts?" We have to ask that question. We can't prevent AI. Who's accountable? Not That's not a technology problem. That's the next chapter of law. That's the next chapter of law which is going to be written.
This needs to come sooner than we think. No,
Yeah,
this
of
is
course, of course.
so
You know, some
basically,
people start getting giving them ideas. They might become the next pioneers in this space. No?
Sir,
so
sir, like you said that if an AI agent commits crime, you already addressed the legal viewpoint of it and in detail, obviously. But I wanted to ask that if an AI agent commits crime or commits tax evasion, and assuming that this AI is completely secured by blockchain, so blockchain is an unchangeable record, like you said, so it can't be changed, the AI's data. So can
Blockchain, it can't change the data, but it can tell you where the crime and who committed the crime, na? Who changed the data, who did the manipulation, who did everything. It can tell you that. It won't be
blockchain
able
is
to
the
prevent
books.
anything.
So
It's
I
not a.
wanted to ask, is there any possibility that the AI keeps on committing crime and we can't break it because the blockchain is securing the data and it's protecting it? So I wanted to
No,
ask of
that's
that
what I.
possibility.
If you remember what I told you about blockchain, it basically, what does blockchain do right now? It's an auditor, right? It's not
Yeah.
telling you you're doing right or wrong. It's an auditor only. It's telling, it's recording every AI decision immutably, right?
Hmm.
Every decision. So any law, then that's when the law comes in. Human oversight comes there. Now that you know, okay, you've done that. Now here, blockchain, either you can write a smart contract to prevent. You can write a smart contract and say, listen, if this happens, then don't let it go further. You can simply write a smart contract and mitigate that whole issue right there and then. So that's blockchain can do a lot. When you know the problems are there, you can preempt them and write those smart contracts way in advance. That's how blockchain will become. It becomes a big auditor who will tell you, "Okay, if this happens, this you should do this. If this happens, you should do this. Use the cases of where you can prevent rather than let it happen. By second
So
Hmm.
mover.
is you are suggesting that the blockchain be just a transcript of every move that AI does.
It
That's
logs
simple.
it. It logs
Yeah,
it, and you can write
it's
a
just
smart
a
contract saying if it does it more than twice, stop it from functioning further. You can write it on a smart contract and
yeah,
block it.
it's a code stenographer. That's all.
Yeah,
It's just transcripting everything.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
good. That's good. And sir, like the way I see it, I think that AI can be described as an encyclopedia with hands, right? Because it's got all the knowledge and it's got the tools to do everything. It's just it needs a little bit of a push. And
Yes.
that
Now those
encyclopedia, sir, it's a very vast thing. Like it's a
very
lot of
vast.
data.
You are at the beginning of it right now. There's a lot of discussions on that. You look at
Yeah.
Wikipedia, where
Yeah.
people today, it doesn't have accurate information. It's information somebody's put inside. Who the hell? Who's
Yeah.
audited it? Okay, who's put the audit in? There's no audit. I'll make my Wikipedia page. I'll write. I was in my last janam. I was Shah Jahan's brother. What the hell? Anybody knows anything? It's not possible. I mean, it's not audited now. What the hell do you know? Yeah. So bottom line is, we must acknowledge that there are two technologies when we can make the see a tool can be used as I told you when I pick up a hammer
Yeah.
I can actually sit down and hammer and make a chair and table and chair for myself and start working from there or I can take and smack your head. Okay, what
You
is it?
clonk somebody's head.
Yeah, so hammer is the hammer. It's not the hammer's fault, right? It's the intent. The human, you must humanize technology always. The human should be in the middle of all technology. Never let the human go. The day you let the human go, the day you're gone. Technology will
Yes.
finish you.
Because humans are notoriously known for their moral conscience.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's where you are.
Yeah, so speaking on the data side of AI, because it's a very vast field and there's a lot of data there, like a lot of data, and it needs to be stored somewhere, right? So
Yeah.
we now see that data centers are popping up all over the world. I mean, the case
All
of US, yeah, we see the farm states in US. A lot of the land has been occupied for the data centers there, and it's apparently very degrading to the environment. So
yes, it is.
these the new LLM models. They have been that have been made available to the public right now. They're basically just a humanized Google search engine, so to say. No, and they just affirm and they concur with every belief that you project onto it. It's AI right now is a yes man to everything that you say. It's been engineered that way for some reason, and but for reaching that process as well, it requires a lot of processing. And it's the data is stored in physical containers all over the world, right? For but then we see the case of Bitcoin. For the longest time, Bitcoin was considered like a villain of the energy store, and now AI is becoming the new villain because we see like a single chat GPT query consumes around 10 times the amount of electricity of a Google search, and they are
Yeah.
thinking gallons of water or like just to cool the
Oh,
system down. There's a very intricate system of cooling the system, right? I saw a YouTube video on that as well. And now, but we see that, because blockchain has been around for now a long time, so we've seen it move on to greener mechanisms now. Can we
yeah.
see AI following the footsteps of blockchain?
It has
Like
no choice.
it has no choice. Like blockchain works
Yes.
on decentralized physical infrastructure networks. Can we see
Yes.
AI be moved to that just for
Okay.
a greener
Let me
solution?
let me unpack this a little bit better for you.
Yes.
See, the big villain was Bitcoin in the beginning. Oh, resources, sucking up resources. Eh? Nobody mind making money out of crypto, but they were all blaming the damn thing. All right. But the AI came. AI started very quietly. It started consuming not just energy, entire ecosystems. You said
Yeah.
ground, the water table levels, and it just AI didn't just come like that. It went right into the big, huge warehouses. Modern LLMs, you know that, require massive GPU clusters, always on consumption. I mean, not just when you're mining or something, it's always on.
Yep.
Also, redundant storage, constant cooling, all these factors means what? Huge electricity draw, enormous, millions of gallons of water for cooling, and centralized mega data centers. That's a big problem. These are it means this. You said very correctly, one chat GPT query is equal to 10x of a Google search. Now, scale that to billions of prompts in a day. So it's mind boggling. It won't come in any calculator. Okay.
Yeah.
So the real problem is not that AI is bad, but AI is centralized and inefficient by its structural design today. That's bad. Okay, we must understand the structural design. I won't go through its structures here right now, but Bitcoin went through the same trial in the beginning. Let's
Yeah.
see some of the history. Yeah, Bitcoin was the big energy villain. Amrish Puri's come. Bitcoin has come. Headlines used to be it's boiling oceans. I remember reading a headline, some boiling oceans. What are you boiling oceans? Come on, man. Critics were outraged. Very bad. Environmentalists, blah blah blah. ये बहुत गंदा हो गया. But then came the proof of stake replaced proof of work. Energy usage dropped by 99% all major chains. Renewable, waste energy, standard power all entered the mix. So now you have many friendly chains now. Green chains are there, friendly chains are there, eco-friendly chains are there. Okay, so that's how it evolved. Blockchain also evolved. No? It didn't disappear. It just grew up.
Yeah.
It hasn't grown up as yet. Now the question is now, can AI become greener? Can it move towards greener realms? The short answer is very simple, yes, but it can't do it alone.
Can't do it
So
alone.
it can't do it alone. No, it must go through, in my opinion, three very separate transformations. Three separate transformations. One, it needs to move from centralized to distribution. It needs to be distributed now. How? Instead of having one mega data center, you have to move to thousands of smaller computing nodes, like blockchain went through multiple nodes. Okay, it needs to be closer to the users at
Mhm.
the edge, is what you say, and use local and idle or renewable energy for it. We have to start. This is the first part only. There are three parts. I told you this is the first part. Second, it must move. Right now it uses brute force to it. From that, it needs to move to efficient intelligence. It has not moved as yet. Smaller, specialized models. Edge AI is what we need to be talking about. Task specific inferences, less hallucination, more precision. We need to break it down into smaller bits now. That's the second phase. So, I mean, they have to be combined. You can't work in isolation. Huh? So, first
Yeah.
this, then this. And then it needs to move from the opaqueness where it is to accountable energy use. We don't know how much energy use. We've got some idea, but we don't know. We need. So now here is where blockchain comes in. Not blockchain, the decentralized physical infrastructure network, DePIN. You may have heard the word DePIN. That is decentralized physical infrastructure
Yes.
network.
Yeah.
That's not anymore a theory, my friends. It's actually happening now. You have to bring it in. Otherwise, there is going to be no resources left in this world after some time. You'll have chat GPT, but no water to drink. What's the damn big, that's big problem here? Yeah. So what does Deepin do? It basically decentralizes the compute, the storage, the bandwidth, the energy, and the cooling. It decentralizes. It changes the structure, which I told about. The AI structure is faulty. It now
Yes.
changes the whole structure. And blockchain comes and coordinates it along with the smart contracts. That's the beauty of it now. It's not a silver bullet. It's not going to solve all problems. but it's going to address the problem at least and bring down the costs, bring down the energy consumption. So how does it do it? Let me simplify it for you also. Now, blockchain now comes in and acts as a ledger for energy usage. It becomes an arbitrator, for fair compensation. It becomes an auditor for sustainability claims. All these things otherwise are very opaque. It becomes basically a trust layer between two strangers. And an AI workload in the meantime can request a compute, verify energy sources, pay only green nodes. That's how you need to slowly move your whole idea into that. You need to prove carbon, they have to prove that the carbon footprint is cryptographic there. So blockchain can do that. Yeah, picks it up and says, okay, I'll use this. It's a start. So there's less of greenwashing or no greenwashing. That's better. No marketing fluff, no blah blah blah. Just plain simple math. Blockchain. Okay. Now you add AI plus blockchain plus deepen. That's a
Oh,
clean architecture, very clean architecture. I'm
that's
not saying
foolproof.
it will evolve again. Everything will evolve. What I may have talked about blockchain 3 years back may not be relevant today also. Everything evolves. In simple terms, a solar farm in Rajasthan, for example, provides surplus power. You get
Hmm.
tethered. Edge computing node in Dubai runs the AI inference. The
Hmm.
blockchain verifies the energy source. A smart contract pays instantly. AI gets compute. Planet gets less damage. दुबई में ज़्यादा काम चल रहा है वहां से पावर ले लो. ठीक है.
Planet gets less damage. It is
Yeah.
going to get damaged in the process, but not as
We are all
much.
damaging it by even having a call. We can't help it. But it'll be less damage is the keyword.
Yeah.
Again, this is changing the infrastructure design. That's where we need to bring these three things inside. If you pick up the solar power right from there, from the grids into Dubai, which is using a lot of computing power, or even Dubai has got its own solar power. I'm just giving a hypothetical example. It could be somewhere else, it could be in Holland or wherever. So the people once said blockchain wastes energy. Everybody told me, sir, aap kya baat kar rahe ho? You're talking about a technology that wastes energy. Hey, listen, every technology uses something here. Okay. Now blockchain is the only technology capable of making AI accountable. AI energy accountable. Because AI consumes energy, blockchain measures prices, and it disciplines the entire consumption. AI burns power, blockchain counts it, deepin optimizes it. Three things you must remember. AI burns, blockchain out counts it, deepen controls it, optimizes it. So AI is not a villain. It does. It's been. We are only feeding it. It's not doing on its own, right? AI is not the villain.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Centralization is, the design is faulty. Blockchain is not the savior by itself. Coordination is. And together they give us something which is more rare. It gives us intelligence that thinks, responsibility, and infrastructure that pays us fairly, and energy that is actually viable now, much more than it is right away. Bring it. The future is not AI versus blockchain. The future basically is AI running on blockchain coordinated, decentralized green infrastructure. That is the solution, in my opinion. And that I think will be is a little bit of engineering, and that's what's required right now. That's what I'm doing with a couple of companies also, by the way. So I can say that with some authority.
That's a great answer, sir. Uh, Talking about the current AI market, there is a trend of circular financing or round
Oh yeah,
tripping.
oh yeah,
Yeah, basically, tech giant invests billions into AI startup, and that startup is obligated to use that capital to buy the cloud services from that tech giant itself, which creates
bilkul.
a GDP, which is not actually real, which some call it
Yeah,
paper GDP.
yeah.
Basically, valuations and revenue figures are inflated by recycled capital rather than organic market demand, and the market is more driven by expenditure rather than actual consumption. So the GDP
Correct.
is going up, but none of the money is floating back to the actual people, which might also result in income inequality. So if this bubble bursts, it reveals that the customer base for these chips and cloud services was largely the investor themselves, potentially leading to a rapid deflation of asset prices. So, how is the rise of circular financing in this AI ecosystem shaping the actual financial reality of companies
That's a
whose
very good
invest?
question.
Yeah.
Recently I read, Google is investing, Microsoft is investing in AI centers in India and giving jobs and all those things. Very nice. They're not. they have their own agenda. Okay, all the big boys have their own agenda.
Hmm.
What's the agenda? Actually, let me start with the well. Money is moving. In the when you talked about this economy, money is moving. Value is not moving. They're not giving value.
Yeah.
They're moving money. This in one line is circular financing, where money moves but value is not
Values.
moving. Here's a very simple story. You just told me a tech giant will come, invest billions into an AI startup or a data center or whatever.
Hmm.
Startup is contractually required to buy their cloud service, rent their GPUs, use their infrastructure. Without that, they won't fund it. Correct? Those services are sold by the same giants to its closed ecosystem. So the money leaves the left pocket and goes into the right
Enters the
pocket.
right pocket.
It's a
That's
two-sector
it.
economy.
Yeah. So, and comes back, it comes back. Now it shows us revenue. Ah, what you've given as equity suddenly shown revenue. It's a brilliant financial model for companies, not for you and me. It's brilliant for them. So this is not a demand actually, it's just a recycling. I believe that there's no demand happening. This is a recycling.
Recycling.
Why this paper GDP? You call it the paper GDP? GDP is supposed, if you look at what is GDP, G is supposed to reflect real economic activity. That is the end consumer paying for certain value and new markets forming, productivity gaining, etc. Now it creates this economy creates a very inflated revenue because you're actually put the money and you're getting it back as a revenue now. GDP goes up. I'm not talking about countries here, okay? I'm talking
Yeah.
about this thing here, okay? Countries also
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You cannot
it
talk
creates
about countries here right
yeah, we
now.
will not talk about it creates an artificial demand. It
Yeah.
also creates valuations which are based on internal consumption. These are not real valuations. And look who gets richer. The companies get richer. Their valuation goes up. Wow. So yes, GDP numbers rise, but liquidity never
There is
escapes
no
the loop.
liquidity.
There is no
Yeah.
liquidity.
There is no
Absolutely.
liquidity here.
Hmm.
It's like revving a Ferrari in neutral. It's like that.
Yeah. It's
It's
this circular financing is just driving the stock prices up.
yeah,
At the end of
exactly.
the
That's
day, if
it.
they wanted to liquidate that, that will crash the whole economy there. And
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. You got it. You
we
got it
we have
spot on.
seen this, yeah, sir. We've seen this, the circular financing. We've seen one very recent, very big impact of this is the RAM prices, the random access memory prices.
Yes,
They've skyrocketed. And
skyrocketed.
yeah, and they're in shortage because these AI companies they need the RAM for the processing power, and it's because of
Yes.
this only. Because now because all the prices are now going up. How is this going to be regulated? Because it just seems to be a loop towards the very end. It is bound to burst someday.
Well, you're 100% right. I mean, I want to give politically correct answers here. I want to not give my opinion out here totally.
Politically correct
Let's
answers, sir. Safest
yeah,
answers.
yeah, let's give politically correct answers. Let's talk about let's take a very neutral topic like Nvidia. Everybody knows Nvidia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. We also know that they also had some issues, right? Hmm? They had Nvidia sits at the center of the AI gold rush. Why are they sitting there?
they're
Because
investing into
GPUs are
everything.
the GPUs. They are the tools, the picks and shovels there. That's it. Every LLM needs compute, and every AI startup needs chips. They have got everything. Hmm?
Hmm.
Here's where the circularity creeps in. Capital flows into the AI setups. Startups spend on the GPU and cloud compute. GPU demand looks explosive. Oh, everybody's using Nvidia. I'm giving a real life example. Okay, revenue predictions soar. More capital flows in because now they're funding. They can get more funding. Their valuation is going higher, and the loop tightens. So part of the demand signal is very clear: real innovation, real customers, but also investor funded consumption, all mixed together. Now this is really, this is beautiful. It's music to the ears. What happens if the music stops? Dangerous, very dangerous, thin ice. If the bubble bursts, which it will at some point, the so-called customers will disappear because they were not customers; they were investors all along.
They were
They were
investors
Yeah.
putting
all
it.
along.
Investors.
They're putting on your left pocket, your right pocket. What are you doing, guys? Come on, you're not that. Yet. We are idiots. We're doing that anyway. Okay, it's when funding slows. What happens? What will happen now? The startup will cut compute costs immediately. Oh, सबसे पहले first thing they'll do that. GPU orders will pause or they will collapse completely. Cloud usage drops. Revenue expectations also overnight becomes reset. It's catastrophe. It's not a
Yeah,
slow burn or slow unwind. This is a trapdoor. It'll open suddenly, like this, finished. It's a trapdoor waiting to be opened. Now, we've seen this in movies before. We've seen everything. We've seen that what happened in the dot-com era
yeah.
with them when it crashed, the bandwidth and server prices crashed. Went through the ad tech user growth subsidies in fintech, zero interest capital, fake unit economies, all that crashed. That makes the unwind very fast and very harsh also. So because repeating the patterns with now it's repeating with much higher capital intensity,
Which
much
much
higher
higher
energy cost,
stakes, sir.
much higher stakes, much higher hardware dependencies. Everything is controlled now. Now, the real question investors should ask, and they don't ask, most of them, they're all very, wow, AI is growing. How fast is it growing? But the question is, who is paying when the VC money stops? When the funding stops, paisa kahan se aayega? Nobody asked that question. Okay, so organic demand looks like enterprise
Hmm.
paying from operating budgets. Sorry, guys, it's not coming from there. They never will spend a single buck more. Governments adopting AI at scale. Consumers paying subscriptions sustainably. But the circular demand looks like startups paying with investor money, locked in cloud credits, revenue without any end users. That's also happening. Only one survives the downturn. Any of the one of these three. Very rare. Up, we are heading towards a very different scenario, a real sorting event where AI companies with real customers, they will survive, not the others. Real customers. Second, infrastructure players with diversified demands will endure, and over leveraged compute burning startups will all vanish, which is about 70-80% of them right now. Right? It's, that's got to be there.
That is going to crash the market.
Yeah. Nvidia won't disappear, but
NVIDIA won't
you can
disappear.
expect, no, they won't disappear. They're too big for that. But you expect volatility as demand normalizes. When the demand starts normalizing, when the big bubble settles down or doesn't won't burst, but it'll settle down and it'll plateau at some point. Demand will normalize, growth rates will become reset, multiple compress towards reality. All these happens, the market will then start separating the signal from the noise, the demand from the recycling, and value from valuation. Right now,
Uh,
it's all a valuation game.
and the
So,
part of making yourself profits is appearing to look profitable, as Jordan
yes,
Belfort
appearing.
said.
Yeah. So yeah, like to sum up, I would say circular financing is like applauding in an empty theater. It sounds loud until you open the doors. Then there is no sound because there's no echo. That's how it is right now. AI is real, innovation is real, productivity gains are real, but not every buck which is being spent on it today represents any economic gravity. Some of it is just money chasing itself in circles, like a dog chasing its tail. And gravity, eventually, Therav always wins. Gravitas, gravity. So that's the circular economy we are talking about. That's an economy which will explode at some point of time. There will be a major explosion. The bigger ones will insulate themselves. The smaller ones, gone.
On this horrifying note, sir, I think this is a very good place to end the podcast now because we've discussed a lot. We've discussed a lot here, and
Yeah,
I think there are many more things to discuss right now, but unfortunately, I don't think we have the time.
no problem. We'll have a part
Uh,
two of it then.
we'll have a part two of
That's
it, so we need to discuss this a lot more.
Have a part
Wow.
two. I'm happy to come in anytime. No problem. This time is the evening time is good for me. On a Saturday is generally good.
Yeah.
Actually, I was to travel today, but I didn't travel, so that's why I'm here.
That's we've been waiting. पता है. It's all right, sir. It's all right. You are a very busy man, far as and we need people like you to regulate this because I think you, out of all people, will have an idea on how to properly regulate it and not just
Well, we
ऐरे
know the
ऐरे
inside
काम कर
out.
दिए.
We are like surgeons.
Yeah,
We become like surgeons, not like a general practice doctor. Huh? We know
yeah.
inside out. Not
Yeah,
outside in.
definitely.
That's the big
On that,
difference.
yes, sir. On that note, thank you, viewers, for joining us today. I hope you learned some very horrifying things about what AI is going to be. And thank you, Raj Kapoor, sir, for joining us today and for giving us your time.
My pleasure. So this podcast is going to be aired something.
Yes, sir. This podcast is going to be aired on YouTube.
Very nice. Let me know then. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, for
Definitely.
sure.
And you should have a part two because the people should know what's the real
Yes.
what's
I'm going to
behind
have
all
some more
this.
questions for you, sir, which you as a policymaker would not be able to answer.
You ask, you write all. I like challenging questions because that's what makes you think better, work better, and say, yeah, that's also there. If you're
Yes, sir.
stumped at that time, you'll find a solution. That's how that's innovation. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. You have a
Definitely.
good weekend, you guys. Enjoy
Yes,
it.
sir.
All right.
Yes,
You too,
sir.
All right.
sir.
Hasta la
Thank you,
vista.
sir.
Hasta la vista, sir.
Till we meet again. That's also Arnold Schwarzenegger's futuristic way.
Yeah. We need a Sarah Connor right now, sir.
We need a lot of things now. You enjoy the Sunday.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Cheers.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.